Okay, I'm back. Yes, I'm back. And here's another thing I'm doing. I'm laying down because for some reason I'm not feeling really well. I'm still getting over the flu. So bear with me. Please bear with me because I usually use my phone to do my lives. But I want to do my phone from here because I'll be able to show you the things I want to show you here. I'm uh, doing it this way. I have one item I'll be able to show you, and then I'll learn if I can put maybe two together, and that will progress until I show you all the things I would like to show you. So, yeah. So I'll wait, give it a couple more minutes, and I'll start the live. I don't know if anybody's going to come out here and listen because it is in the middle of the day and people are probably working and whatever other things. So we'll see. We will. Get people on. I'm hoping somebody comes on because it's been a shaky start. So, uh, okay. I'll start the live now. Yeah, so this is something I'm doing because I was a little tired, so you know, so I was kind of falling asleep before, but I'm awake now because there's something I'd like to bring to you. My other live that I did on my phone was very good because I had people engage with me, which is what I really like that they engage with me. And I hope people will engage with me here and give me some ideas of what they like and stuff because once I get these lives down on this computer, this isn't my regular computer. And it's kind of, yeah, trying to get used to this is kind of, what's the word I want? Restricting. It's kind of restricting because you got to get the feel of my other one. It just felt natural to me. But the topic, as you can see, is Mary Trump and her avenging nerds, which Mary Trump gives critique and lets others come on her platform and critique her uncle for the good or the bad, mostly the bad. Most people come out there do it, but I think it's kind of interesting to see what people are thinking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump has caused has caused CAUSED more trouble in 2 months than people who work for different agencies for years have ever caused. So, I'm looking forward to this chat. I really am. And I would love for someone to come on live and give me a great commentary. Give me commentary. Give me their true feelings because everybody doesn't like Donald Trump and everybody's not MAGA. I myself am not, but I've come across, in my personal life, I've come across MAGA dealers. Actually, my own sister she was MAGA. And, it is what it is. My parents weren't MAGA. My God, were not MAGA. And my aunties and things, they were definitely not MAGA, but they were definitely not MAGA. We were all Dems. But every family, for some reason, every family had a MAGA nut in it. So anyway, so that's it. So I'm going to share the screen with everyone, and you can listen. And please leave your comments if you care to. And if you haven't, and if you haven't, you know, I'm getting ready to share. So give me a minute, and here it is. Share the screen. I'm going to share it with you.
The military and National Guard against the enemy of the people, the enemy from within. When he actually won, barely, with 49% of the vote, he attacked judges who actually tried to implement the rule of law and checks and balances. He implemented his racist vision. Oh, by the way, yes, he went along with the entire playbook in Project 2025 to cut and gut Social Security, to cut Medicaid, and Democrats decided to be civil until the public said enough is enough. We're going to unpack all of that and much more on today's Nerd Avengers. Let's roll. Brown Mary keeps on rolling. Welcome, community. Welcome, Brian Karam. Brian Karam is a White House reporter, best-selling author, and the host of Ripper Shot. And we might be joined by Adam later on. But right now, it's me and Brian. We're going to do the Blues Brothers. We're going to do the duo. We're going to take on the Empire. We are the rebel forces, folks. And like Ike and Tina, we're not going to do it nice and easy. We're going to do it nice and rough today, Brian.
Well, you can go easy or you can go hard. Which way you want to go, we're there.
We're gonna go nice. We're not gonna go nice easy. We're gonna go a little bit rough. We got a whole bunch of stories today. We're gonna break it down for you as always. Respect Mercedes and our DJ Lexi. DJ Lexi is in the background. Is gonna give all these clips. Brian, first and foremost, before I do a set, just to show you the incompetence of these arrogant a-holes. I'm fasting, so I won't say the word. In the Trump administration.
Well, assholes, I'll say it for you.
There you go. There you go. And just to show you, as they're attacking DEI and affirmative action, they brought the best and the brightest. I'm going to play this clip before we break down our first news story. Check this out.
And this judge, Judge Boasberg, is a Democrat activist. He was appointed by Barack Obama. His wife has donated more than $10,000 to Democrats, and he has consistently shown his disdain for this president and his policies, and it's unacceptable.
Where I wanted to go about the idea of these people are authoritarians, but Judge Boasberg was
See how Jared Height, I think I said it in my from NBC.
Thank God somebody pushed back.
In New York, how he's back-checked, and not many people have been back-checked.
Who is this activist judge who was actually appointed by a Republican judge?
Trump or
Boasberg.
his press secretary
has not relented, has not caved. He has asked the Trump administration to tell him what time two planes took off from U.S. soil and from where, what time they left, and why they avoided due process when they essentially kidnapped, could be up to 100 or hundreds of brown folks whom they allege are Venezuelan terrorists based on tattoos, dumped them in El Salvador, where again, no due process, but there was a camera crew, just like the old Nazi footage, that showed them hooded and cuffed and that these individuals, at least some of them, Brian, and this is, we really have to stress this, are innocent. We had family members saying, I think I recognize him. Oh, that's my husband. Oh, that's my cousin. Oh, they just got a tattoo. What? No, they're here legally. What's happening? Steve Bannon, I don't know if you've all seen this clip, has said, you know what? Yeah, a few of these guys could be your gardener. I'm sure they're swell guys, but that's okay. So it is possible that the Trump administration invoking the 1798 Alien Enemies Act, which has only been invoked 3 times before, folks, during wartime, 1812, World War I, and most infamously during World War II, where we interned Japanese American citizens who are completely innocent. That is what the Trump administration has invoked to go after Venezuelan gang members, but pardon 1,600 violent insurrectionists. Judge James Boasberg ain't having it, folks. In fact, he has given the administration until 12 p.m. today to answer his questions and to respond to his demands. And as a result of him actually, enforcing the law, we have a constitutional crisis because this administration, well, they don't like being told no. They want to impeach this judge. And we had Justice Roberts, of all people, have a little bit of spine, Brian, a little bit of spine, and said, well, yeah, that's inappropriate. And then we had Luca Brasi in human form, Tom Homan, the border czar, openly said he's going to reject the judge. But then he did a little bit of a walk back, on Cuomo yesterday. Check this out.
You are a lawman's lawman. I know you respect judges and what they do. And we both know the Alien Enemies Act is a stretch, but I get the pressure you're under to find ways to get bad guys out of here faster. Am I right?
Look, let's get back to the statement that I don't care what judges think. I said that. But it's not about the Alien Enemies Act. What I meant by that, we're going to keep arresting criminal aliens, we'll keep arresting Venezuelans, and we'll deport them either through title or another way. I'll wait till the DOJ and the courts fight this out as far as the Alien Enemies Act, how far forward we go. But what my comment was, you're not going to stop deportation flights. You're not going to stop the arrest of gang members. You're not going to stop the arrest of TVA. We can hold TVAs up to 6. My comment there was going to keep doing what we're doing. We'll let DOJ and the courts fight. Stop what we're doing. We're going to keep targeting the worst of the worst.
Brian, on the Nerd Avengers, we keep receipts. Let's go to the comment.
It doesn't look like you're getting support from the Democrats on this. You're going against the judges now. What's next?
Another flight every day. We're going to be out there every day. Men and women of ICE are going to be in the neighborhood of this nation, arresting in public
what you feel
and national security threats. Lord, you're not
I'd
going to stop.
appreciate that.
We made a promise to American people.
Lunchtime may not
President
have
Trump
been
has
a
made
good
promise
time
to
to
I wake up every morning and love
I
my
have
job
it
because I work
on
for the greatest president in the history of my life. This administration, we're not stopping.
it will be
We're coming.
Yeah, all right. So hellfire and damnation. You can't call him a Nazi enough. He's a disgusting individual. We're not stopping. I don't care what the judges think. Guess what, folks? You can walk it back on, and I give, Chris is trying to, talk the guy into some sense, but the guy has no sense. And I remind everyone,
I'm sorry, probably will.
these people were to begin with. There you go. And that happened, and now you've got John Roberts trying to get some of that authority back after. Like many of the crooked judges I am forced to appear before should be impeached. Make America great again. That's from the president. That he posted on Truth Social. John Roberts then came out and issued a statement that said, quote, for more than 2 centuries it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate cause to disagreement concerning a judicial system decision. A normal appellate review process exists for that purpose. Now let's go to Secretary Barbie in the briefing room yesterday, and that first comment that you showed where thank God somebody finally stood up and corrected one of her ungodly mistakes.
A robust press, a check and balance. Who would have thought it actually put some of
one time? There were 4 others that they could have pressed back against that they didn't, and we haven't, and that's disgusting. But she said in that press briefing that, she backed what, while they're going to respect the judges, that they're going to continue this anyway. So she's speaking out of both sides of her mouth. She says that Trump respects the judges, but honestly, that's a lie. Well, the reason why Cuomo does that is the reason why many people do that on TV. You try to soften them up a little bit before you hit them over the head with a billy bat. So that's not exactly. I mean, those are well-known, tactics for reporters to do. So that's not a.
Yeah. We have a question from a community member, and I want to ask you this: why does Cuomo need to compliment them before he asks them questions?
Yeah.
Cuomo saying watching for Gestapo-level persecution. Innocent Venezuelan tattoo artist was sent to El Salvador. Vile, evil, Mark Q34. Thanks for your $10.
Yeah, that's my answer to that. It's a common tactic by interviewers on television. One of the things that you'll notice that we'll do sometimes on TV is we'll ask the soft questions up front, and then hammer you. You don't want to be going out the back door. If the nicer, sometimes, like with Sam Donaldson and with Dan Rather and some of the people that, did this for a long time.
So I stopped sharing, and seems like no one has really anything to say about this. So we're very good. And with, I, like I said, I'm just doing this. I don't know if anyone is coming on, anyone is listening. A lot of people don't want to hear about old Donnie, but I do.
How far will he go? The thing with Donald Trump is, I always said I think he's a virus. All right, and how does the virus creeps into your system, replicates with proteins, turns people, and creates an environment safer for the host to die and for the virus to spread. So the virus took over the Republican Party. It laid low the Democrats. It's back in office, and it is continuing to spread. And Donald Trump's virus, if you do not check it, if you do not stand up to it, if you bow to it at any point in time, if you ever even give it a courtesy of being nice to it, it's going to use you, and it's going to use that to go farther, more engulfing, more dangerous, more virulent. And we've seen that this second time in office. He learned when he got, everyone thought they killed the virus after Donald Trump was, voted out of office in 2020. But viruses don't die so easily, and it became mutated, more
Did he say
virulent. It came back into
2020?
office. It has put members of the virus is spread now to all parts of government. And if you think that for one moment that putting an innocent person on a plane and sending them out of the country makes you any safer, I want to remind you that you could be next. Ask the French professor who was deported simply because he said something against Donald Trump. This does not end well. And all of this, Donald Trump is as vain and shallow, egomaniacal, egotistical as anyone I've ever met. The most loathsome character I've met in 40 years on the public stage in politics. And what he wants his face on Mount Rushmore, and he wants a Nobel Peace Prize, and he'll kill anyone to get it. So that's
We had to bomb them in order to save them. And I'm so glad you brought up the French professor. In addition to the French professor, there was also Mahmoud Khalil, a Palestinian green card holder, whom the White House openly said has not committed any crimes. Doesn't matter. Marco Rubio doesn't like him, calls him a national security threat. So this man with an 8-month pregnant wife who's a citizen is in Louisiana right now. Another person who got shipped to Louisiana just yesterday, a postdoc student at Georgetown, an Indian national who's here legally. Apparently, this government, folks, didn't like the views, the alleged views of his spouse. So that's why they literally yanked him off the street, this Georgetown postdoc, Indian national. Now he's in Louisiana. So if they don't like your opinions, and if you have allegedly something on your phone or your laptop that goes against the king, the daddy, Donald Trump, now we're talking about the Frenchman, you'll be kicked out of this country. You won't be allowed in. And also we had a transplant doctor who was here legally saving lives at Boston University. They're alleging that she's a Nasrallah supporter, which is just a tenuous connection there. And so now she got kicked back. She's in, I believe, France right now on her way back to Lebanon. If they can go after all these, go after you. And speaking about a robust resistance, showing how weak the chin is of a authoritarian. Oh, we do have the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has registered its lowest favorability rating ever since they started keeping favorability ratings. It's at 29%. And before I talk about AOC and her being invited by Republicans to come to their counties, I just want your rant on Chuck. It's I call it the Chuck Schumer death watch. I think everyone knows he's a dead man walking except him. He's been on a book tour. He's been trying to sell why he sided with the Republicans, gave him 10 votes to basically go and do what they're doing right now, which is dismantle the government. Your Chuck Schumer rant, do you think he has acquitted himself, Brian Karam?
Well, I think Chuck Schumer was playing by rules that no longer exist, and he's old and needs to go. Now, if you break down why he said what he said and did what he did, that makes logical sense, right? It makes logical sense to not put the country in harm's way. However, I would remind Chuck Schumer of a few facts. If you think that we're in a constitutional crisis, that's in the rearview mirror. If you think that we face strangulation of our government, if you back out of it, I will remind you that's in our rearview mirror. American people want to see out of the Democratic Party that they haven't seen, and this is millions. This isn't me. I'm just reporting what those have told me across the country have said, that they do not appreciate the fact that they are kowtowing to a bully. The only way to stand up to a bully is to stand up to a bully. Look, Donald, I am not a partisan. I have happily criticized Democrats, Republicans, and even a few Druids.
No, we always do this on the show, folks.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is that Donald Trump, you need to stand up to him. And they'll say, oh, yeah, sure. How would you do it? Well, I've done it, okay? Screw you. I've been there. I've done it. I will do this. I will ask him anything I want, whenever I want. He doesn't want me in the room because he didn't fare the times in the room with me. Don't understand why Chuck Schumer and others don't stand up to the man and are still playing by rules that no longer exist. The biggest problem, the reason why the Democrats are so favored, twofold. One, they don't appear to stand up. And appearance in politics is reality. Hence the low drop in ratings. And number two, the thing I criticized the Biden admin so damn poorly. You don't tell somebody that dollar infrastructure bill once and then drop it and move on. You don't say, hey, 70% of the people.
Well, you saw that. And that thing on Chuck Schumer was right. Uh, anybody care to? I know people are listening, and whether they like it, I don't know. But anyway, anybody care to talk about Chuck Schumer? My opinion is he shouldn't have done it. He should have let it collapse, let the government collapse, so we could get rid of this idiot. You know, Donald Trump Donald Trump is all I can say. That's all I can say. I don't know. If anybody is here that was on my live, I think it was yesterday, because I did it from my phone. Which one do you like the best? Do you like it when I do the live from the phone or when I do it from the computer on the ooh, on the app? You know, so we'll see. We'll have to see. Yep. Tell me, tell me in the comments. Tell me in the chat which way do you like it? Because I'm still navigating this phone area. Yeah, I'm still navigating it with the you know. So I'm going to in this live stream. It was a good one. I'll leave it up. It wasn't because I know how to end the stream.